Walker will go claim it.
Love averaging 18.5 over his last 4 games. Bacot down low again. And Armando Bacot has 8 of North Carolina's first 11.
Power outages are unpredictable, inconvenient, and disruptive to your life. Posing.
Ready for war. I see the house and I'm up in the score. I just came back for the win. They say success is the best thing.
A lot was made over the lack of usage for Armando Bacot in the second half against Louisville last time out. That is not the case early.
When you get him touches, he scores, gets fouled, or there's a double team. He gets all the defensive attention. Armando Bacot can create driving lines for Davis and Love and three-point shots for Brady Manek. Feed the big, play inside out, and you'll have more opportunity and more space.
NC State trying to stem a 7-0 run. Sebron, that shot bothered. Wolfpack surprisingly just 1-9 at home in conference play this year. They've lost 7 of 8 overall. Black the hammer on the baseline drive.
And the closeout came on the high side, and Leaky Black just punched it home on the low side. See Manek really hard hedging on the ball screens off of Sebron. That's the game plan for North Carolina in this game.
Elham's had a big day against UNC. He's been slumping since. Numbers for the Heels. Davis back to Love. Out to Manek. And it falls. That's a home bounce on the road.
They talk about live ball turnovers being the worst. It's the high live ball turnover, the one that happens foul line extended or beyond. Those are the ones that teams turn into points quickly.
16-3 out of the gates. And for NC State, this feels like the January matchup where UNC blowtorched the pack in that first half. Bacot may have forced it. Manek the offensive rebound. And an 18-3 run out of the gates.
Well, that time you got Bacot to take a turnaround shot, a little bit off the block. The other 4 guys need to block out on the weak side. You can see the game plan for Hubert Davis. Bacot touches, and more touches. So you have to respond on the weak side.
Hubert Davis telling us for this Carolina team, they've had some surprising results where they've been blown out. He said it all starts with defense. We've seen active hands. We've seen the rebounding. It's been set with defense early, Paul.
And here's some second chance points right here. Manek just sneaks in from the corner. Morcell watching the shot. When the shot goes up, he should be blocking out Manek as opposed to watching the shot go up. But you're right in the
shot clock.
The defense for North Carolina, much more aggressive in this game. Don't forget, they gave up 80 points to State last time.
It looked like Helms lost track of the shot clock, then had to put it up. On pass in there, a little backcourt pressure.
Carolina is so much bigger, especially in the front court, than State. State really playing with just 1 big and 4 guards.
They got Manek matched up on pass. Size advantage, he finds a cutting Davis. 16 unanswered.
That's the basketball IQ of Brady Manek. Had the mismatch, could have taken it himself, saw the cutter. Beautiful passing vision by Brady Manek.
Pass down the lane, lost it, but fouled.
A lot of things make Brady Manek special, but his vision, IQ, and unselfishness just makes this Carolina team have more chemistry when he's on the court.
Breon Pass, a freshman, big-time football prospect out of high school. We've got a full day of college hoops today on ESPN at 4 Eastern following our game. Auburn, the #3 team in the country, going to Knoxville. Tennessee 14-0 at home this season. And the Vols have 5 top 5 wins since Rick Barnes took over. Duke and Syracuse, Krzyzewski and Boeheim. On Jim Boeheim's weekly radio show this week, he got a call in, a Mike from Durham.
Hi, this is Mike from Durham.
And then Kansas Baylor in what should be a fun Big 12 nightcap.
Duke has to be really on point against the Syracuse zone.
Caleb Love, that one spins out. Even the misses look good.
Nothing like the dome and Syracuse in the zone. It's a taunting place.
They'll probably have 30,000 plus. Cam Hayes nearly turned it over. He did. That's 4 turnovers already for State. Davis blocked. The follow by Manek.
Manek, not a great athlete, but he's quick with his decisions. He immediately went to the offensive glass on the penetration.
It's been the bigs, Manek and Bacot, 15 of the 22 for UNC. And we're going to foul away from the ball. Brady Manek, his first. How does NC State get into some kind of a rhythm, offensively, defensively?
They got to be more aggressive on the offensive end in terms of drive. They got to get paint touches for scores or paint touches for kicks. They're not penetrating the wall of Carolina's defense right now. Caleb Love doing a really good job on Terquavion Smith.
Hayes, the baseline drive. Smith, the kick to Helms. And that one doesn't go. His shooting slump continues.
But that's the recipe in these. Get Carolina in long closeouts. Then you got to make shots.
And a block called, to the chagrin of this Wolfpack crowd. It's on Breon Pass. And now you hear the chants of bovine fertilizer.
Loud and clear. But Carolina has to continue to force turnovers, run on the missed shot. They put the knockout punch on NC State last time. But don't forget, State still scored 80 points. Even though it was a blowout, Hubert Davis said, hey, we scored 100, but they still scored 80.
Now in that game, UNC, 56 points in the first half.
They're on pace right now. But for State,
Jason, thank you. If we're going to have a nail biter like we did up in East Lansing, NC State's going to have to make a run. This feels a lot like the first meeting between these two teams when North Carolina scored 56 in the first half, dropped 100 in a 20-point win that wasn't all that close. Darion Sebron, a chance for a 3-point play. And Ishraf, Paul Biancardi, how we got here? Well, Carolina's got 24 already. They did it from the outside when these two played in Chapel Hill. They have been pounding the paint. It's been Bacot, it's been Manek inside.
Well, the emphasis has been Armando Bacot in the low post with 8 points already, 6 rebounds. The first 2 plays of the game, Hubert Davis went right to Bacot. They want to establish him inside. This creates spacing for Love and Davis and Manek.
North Carolina comes into this game in the projected tournament field, according to Joe Lunardi. They're a 10 seed right now. But this is one of those games, Paul, you can't lose. They can only hurt you. 24-8, North Carolina on top of NC State. It's senior day here for the Wolfpack. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball, presented by 5 Hour Energy. It's the one when you gotta get stuff done.
Welcome back to X Games 2021, and it's now time for the men's skateboard park. Always a fun comp, taking it back old school. Look out for the two-time park medalist Tom Shar. But
North Carolina a 14-2 edge and points in the paint.
And they are crushing State on the glass, 10-1 overall. Brady Manek does so many things to open the game up for Armando Bacot. He opens the game up for R.J. Davis and Caleb Love, and he still gets his own points with a three-point shot.
Manek, over his last 8 games, 16.5 points, 42% from 3. Here's Sebron, 4th in the conference in scoring, 2nd in rebounding. That does not go. Darion Sebron now just 1 of 5. He had his worst game of the year against UNC last month. Love the teardrop. Got it.
Sebron struggled to finish 2 layups. Then he's got to get back, and he gets beat off the bounce by Love.
And that was the story the first time out. He got some shots near the rim, could not finish.
Bacot had 6 blocks the last time these two played.
Terquavion Smith hit an early 3. That doesn't go.
And Bacot changed that shot. He didn't block it, but he certainly changed it.
R.J. Davis, rhythm 3, in and out. Paul, we've said this a couple of times now. Even the misses have looked good for UNC.
Because they're open shots. State trying to get back in defensive conversion. They've got to find the three-point shooters, and they have to account for Armando Bacot inside.
Casey Morsell fouled on the drive. And they get Bacot his first. Well, for North Carolina, they're one of the last 4 byes. That is one group above last 4 in, according to Joe Lunardi. But you lose to an NC State team that's 4-13 in conference, that's 1-9 at home. You could drop from last 4 byes to first 4 out.
Well, it's separation time right now. North Carolina has won their last 4 or 5, but they can't let up today. They want a shot at the NCAA tournament. It really is a can't-lose game for the Tar Heels. It's that simple.
UNC only has 1 quad 1 win. That was last weekend against Virginia Tech. They play Syracuse on Monday and then close the regular season next weekend at Cameron Indoor.
But when you studied their last 2 games, the 2 wins against Louisville and Virginia Tech, the defense has been better, especially the three-point line defense. They've only given up 22% in the last 2 games from 3. They're scoring a lot of points at the free throw line, but the turnovers are still hurting Carolina. 28 turnovers in the last 2 games.
And you go back to their losses against Wake and Miami, 26 turnovers in those 2 games led directly to 51 points for their opponents.
And this is how State can get back in. Run and beat the defense down the floor, attack off the bounce, get into the paint, finish or find. But they got to be decisive. Too much dribbling on the top of the key. You need to make hard drives. Almost a 5-out offense you're going to see from State right now.
Helms over Puff Johnson. Offensive rebound, Smith. Terquavion Smith had 34 against UNC last time out. That was with the 82 Tar Heels championship team in the house, as Carolina's got to call timeout.
Great call by Kevin Keats to go 5 guards, score and press.
Timeout, Hubert Davis. We're back in 30 seconds.
All right, so cordless headphones. You can watch movies through your phone.
Terquavion Smith, only a true freshman. January 29th in Chapel Hill. MJ in the house. He dropped 34. He has been NC State's leading scorer in conference games. As we get a foul against the Wolfpack, it's Helms, his 2nd. Paul Biancardi, you are our National Director of Recruiting. Terquavion, out of high school, what was he?
An ESPN Top 100 prospect. Deep range on his three-point shot, a quick trigger, and a really good explosive athlete. And he can score from all 3 levels.
That's a double dribble against DeMarco Dunn, freshman mistake.
And I love the call by Kevin Keats. When you're down, you have to score. The only way to score best is to apply full court pressure, force turnovers, and then on the offensive end, you have 5 guards, drive and kick.
Jericho Helms for 3. He needed that. He was 9 of his last 34 from deep entering today.
And when you score at home, you get the crowd into the game. It energizes the fans and your defense.
A 7-0 run by State. Manek ends it on the drive.
The weakness of 5 guards is pain points by the opposition. That's already happened in this game, so you're playing with house money right now.
Sebron out to Morcell, open. Back iron, rebound Manek.
Manek wants the ball inside against Sebron. There's the post.
Manek whirls inside, the basket no good, but a foul. Kevin Keats wanted to travel.
Dunn comes off of the screen. Manek on the baseline. He is a mobile big. Doesn't look very athletic, but he moves quickly. He's got great skill. And in this lineup for North Carolina, he is playing the low post.
Casey Morcell picked up his second foul, the Virginia transfer.
You just get the sense that Kevin Keats said in the huddle, look, we are going to press. We're going to go all out. If you're open, shoot it. Let it fly. Give us your best. If you're tired, we'll take you out. But we're going to stay small, and we're going to play fast.
Black staying with Sebron. Helms open again. And the rebound to Love. One thing UNC over the years has been so good at, cleaning the defensive glass.
Hubert Davis told us if we rebound and limit our turnovers and defend, we can beat anybody in the country. We just can't get our team to do all 3 every night.
DeMarco Dunn had his foot on the line. True freshman, seeing some minutes early in this one.
He's got great size, a really good defender. We watched him feed the post to Brady Manek. A good all-around scoring guard who can facilitate.
Played his high school ball for George Stackhouse, Jerry's cousin.
Went 43-3 in 2 years.
You like to see that from Helms. He's been in a shooting slump. Go inside, try to get the foul. That's 2 on Brady Manek, but it's Carolina in complete control.
Five-hour energy, because it's time to hit the gym.
Episode 7 at 9 Eastern. That takes us from 84 to 89. That's Len Bias, Jay Billis when he had hair. And then,
did he have hair?
He did. Once upon a time, he was a handsome man. Still is, just now without the follicles. And then part 8, 1990 through 1997. So if you're a Tar Heel fan, that's the 93 team. Eric Montross, Donald Williams, and we get to see Randolph Childress, the Wake Forest guard, now our colleague. That 95 ACC tournament, as good as it gets from an individual standpoint.
Childress was just sensational for Wake Forest back then. I believe he had 96 points over the course of 3 games.
Beat North Carolina in that classic final. Bacot out to Puff Johnson. 10 to shoot. Love. Johnson beats the shot clock, hits the rim.
Best defensive possession so far for State.
Sebron all the way, Wild.
He has struggled at the rim. He may have to jump stop and slow down.
Love's 3, not there, rebound pass.
See, now North Carolina is playing into the tempo of NC State. Must make sure that Armando Bacot gets a touch. They can't jack it up quick. Plays right into the hands of what Kevin Keats wants to do.
Smith's 3. Rebound Sebron.
Carolina's taking their foot off the gas.
Sebron against Bacot. Vetoed.
He just seems off balance when he goes to his left. I think he needs to jump stop, settle down, and then go up.
And 2 shots coming for Johnson. Paul, could that be the product of a score having the defender Bacot in your head. We saw it last time out too.
Well, you got Bacot right there, so you don't have a clear path to the basket. In that case, you jump stop, you pump fake. If you can't score, you can kick it out. But you have no power, no momentum when you're going away from your strong hand and jumping off of 1 foot.
Second foul on pass. Substitutions for NC State. Morcell and Cam Hayes check in. Sharpshooter Kerwin Walton at the scores table for UNC.
Puff Johnson could really shoot the ball well, just like his older brother Cameron Johnson.
Oh yeah.
Who played for North Carolina. Gives the Tar Heels a space maker from the outside.
North Carolina leading by 14. They've led by as many as 19.
They've gotten more aggressive off the bounce. The ball's moving a little bit more.
Here's Smith. It doesn't go. Bacot fighting for the rebound, out of bounds. Last touch, Ebenezer Dewana.
I know Smith is an incredible scorer, but if the ball moves around the top of the key to the baseline and comes back to him, he'll get an open shot with less pressure. You have to move the defense to create an open shot. You just can't come down 2 or 3 dribbles off a ball screen and think you're going to do it yourself.
Yeah, the big three for NC State, their top 3 scorers. Sebron, 1 of 7. Smith, 2 for 8. And Helms, just 1 of 4.
And Smith has been fantastic. 3.5 threes per game in the ACC. That leads the ACC. Just got to work to create better shots.
Love. Offensive rebound, put back, Bacot.
Just has his way in the paint. Creates some space with that wide body.
Cam Hayes over Walton.
That's a great sign for the Wolfpack. Cam Hayes has struggled this year. The shot at home against North Carolina. Let's see what he can give the Wolfpack.
Struggles have been amplified in conference play as R.J. Davis gets it to go. In non-conference, Hayes was averaging 11 a game, less than 5 in league play.
A lot of players, they lose their confidence during the season, and it's hard to get it back during games. You get it back in practice.
And Smith now 2 for 9. Last touch, Walton.
Watch Armando Bacot, just works for position. He gets inside, reaches with 1, finishes with 2. Outstanding pair of hands by Armando Bacot. He's got that wide base, that low center of gravity. He's got girth and strength inside.
Morcell missed the shot, had to pick that up off the bounce. Not a rhythm shot.
Not a clean pass. NC State, they want to score quickly, but they can't rush their threes. Maybe the extra pass will create another open look.
Offensive foul against Caleb Love. One of the things about this North Carolina team, we know they have offensive firepower, we know they have talent. But Hubert Davis addressed this with us as well, leadership. He said, we have leaders on the team, but they're not always present and visible.
It's a quiet team. It's not a loud team. The leaders are by example. Great shot by Helms.
And down goes Leaky Black, holding that right knee. That's Carolina's best perimeter defender. Now remember, this is a team that is already without Dawson Garcia, one of their bigs for the rest of the season. Garcia went home to be with his ailing grandmother. Anthony Harris, who was a piece off the bench, is unavailable for the remainder of the season. That's the school's verbiage, no further details released. And now Leaky Black, a senior who's actually been a bigger factor offensively the last month, holding that right knee, came down awkwardly, non-contact.
Non-contact knee buckle, and it was his right knee.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Wendy's new Hot Honey Chicken Sandwich. Also available on a biscuit at breakfast at participating U.S. Wendy's.
A lot of people assume coaches are looking at plays on that clipboard.
Just like they assume they can't afford great insurance. But State Farm has rates that fit any budget.
Joining us, Leaky Black, UNC's best perimeter defender, came down awkwardly. His right knee buckled. He was taken to the locker room. What's the immediate impact for UNC as the Heels turn it over?
Well, defensively, Leaky Black is their best player, and he gives them versatility on both ends of the floor. He can play a small ball 4 or a big 3-man.
Hayes hits, and NC State, down by as many as 19, has cut it to 10.
And that's the second shot for Cam Hayes, who came into this game struggling from the outside. The young man from Greensboro Day, playing with confidence.
Only 22% from 3 entering the game. He didn't score in the first meeting against UNC, 0 for 6 in 20 minutes. And a foul on Dewana, down low, battling with Bacot.
And that's what NC State has to do more of. The hard penetration to the rim, suck in the defense, then kick it out or try to score at the basket. Hayes with a nice job being ready to shoot the ball.
Now this press, too, has been effective, taking UNC out of its rhythm.
UNC doesn't want to play fast unless they have to. They have Armando Bacot. They have the best low-post player in the game. So they want to make sure they touch him, they feed him, and work him inside.
Bacot, who's been a double-double machine this season, 1 rebound shy of his 22nd double-double, which would be 1 shy of the school's single-season record set by Bryce Johnson. Morsell, long 2.
Great job on the execution by K.C. Morsell. They forced him to a side. He took the side. Armando Bacot was in drop coverage. He knew he couldn't get to the rim. The defense backs up, you pull up.
The pendulum has swung. Bacot down low. Dewana bodies up. Manek open for 3 and hits.
The inside-out game of Bacot and Manek. Hard to defend. When you double inside, Manek will beat you from deep. I think Kevin Keats wants a 3-second call on Armando Bacot. Watch Bacot in the paint.
Awfully close.
2 3/4.
Hayes has knocked down a couple of 3s, turns it over. Tar Heels bringing an Armada down court, and Davis the pull-up.
Great push by R.J. Davis. The speed in the open floor. State has to be concerned about where they're going to drive the ball. Don't drive it into the help, drive it away from the help.
Tough first half for Terquavion Smith, just 2 of 10.
And a lot of those at the rim.
Yeah, that's a double-double for Bacot now, 22 on the season. 3rd in Division I. Puff Johnson, corner 3, and he is fouled by Hayes.
When Carolina slows down, and they use Armando Bacot at the top of the key as a ball screen threat, the floor opens up because the defense has to worry about Bacot rolling to the basket. That allows opportunities for penetration and kick. It seems like when Carolina's guards have patience, they execute so much better on the half-court situation.
Why do you think that is?
Because they wait for their big and they play through him. Manek gets involved, but when they come down looking for theirs, they forget about the big. They take unexpected shots.
Sunday in the AAC, a doubleheader. First game at 12:30 Eastern. Houston and SMU Mustangs one of the next 4 out, according to Joe Lunardi. They need that game. Memphis, after a rough start to the season, they're one of Joe Lunardi's last 4 in.
Memphis is playing with some great chemistry right now. They have the talent, but they're playing together at the right time.
Remember early in the year, Penny Hardaway called out his team, especially his older guys. Hayes hesitated. It looks like they're going to get Puff Johnson on the foul. 1-1 for NC State.
And now State has the opportunity to pick up full court. They can make the free throws, they stop the game, they set their defense. Advantage Wolfpack.
A few weeks ago, talking to Kevin Keats about Cam Hayes, when Hayes was really struggling with his shot, he said for Cam, the key is, hey, if the offense isn't there, don't let it impact the rest of your game. And it had been impacting the rest of his game. Today, he's been an offensive bright spot, 8 points in this first half.
And last year, he played off of Manny Bates. And don't forget, Bates was a tremendous low post presence and the best shot blocker in the ACC.
Bacot in the high post.
Catching the ball a little bit further away from the basket. Good defense by Dewana.
Dewana standing his ground. Bacot slips inside, and he did travel.
That time Dewana forced him a little bit deeper on the catch. He moved his feet, holding his ground. Watch Dewana, 21 in the white. Moves his feet, beats him back to the baseline. And a little Big East shiver at the end.
A little Big East shiver, I like
the old
that.
Big East from the 90s.
We come up on a minute to play. Hayes, that didn't come close.
He got his other jump shots off of penetration. His feet were set. That time he was trying to create his own, just rushed it.
Freshman Dontrez Styles into the game for Carolina. Bacot has it poked away. Here's Hayes. Blocked at the rim by Bacot. The follow by Smith not there. Second effort, no. Here comes Carolina the other way. Love challenging Dewana and gets the foul. Oh, if he made that, that would have been all over SportsCenter.
What great hustle by Armando Bacot to get back and get the block. I think he got it. Hayes trying to go up. Bacot gets it hard and clean. And State couldn't finish the follow. Caleb Love looking for some love in Raleigh. State got the block shot and still couldn't lay it in. They've missed at least 5 to 7 layups in this game.
Which was the case against UNC back in January.
But that one was clean after the block. They had a clean look.
Remember Bacot in that first meeting at 6 blocks.
And if you're Kevin Keats, you're telling your team at halftime, continue to go to the basket, keep following the play, let's create for each other. Forced turnovers on the defensive end.
UNC has led by as many as 19. NC State had trimmed the deficit to single digits, but it's ballooned back up for the Heels. 3-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Now Smith, a long three. Not gonna go. Davis the other way, 3 seconds. Lets it fly, and it doesn't go. The bigs, Manek and Bacot combining for 25, but an injury concern for North Carolina heading into the locker room. Leaky Black, their senior starter, their switchblade on defense, left the game after it's a hyper-extended right knee. He went through warm-ups just a minute ago, and he could return. That probably depends on how this game goes. If NC State makes a run, we could see Leaky Black. He could be held out due to precautions as well, but it's only a hyper-extended right knee.
Yeah, there's no reason to bring him back into the game if the score stays at double figures.
Terquavion Smith, who was just 2 of 12 in that first half, now has 7. Carolina led by as many as 19. Puffs Johnson, it doesn't go. Into the arms of a waiting Jericho Helms.
Nice job by Dewana. Coming over, just trying to alter the shot. State gets the rebound. Now they got to move the ball and attack off the bounce.
Morcell. Dewana offensive rebound and stick back.
Boy, any points he can give State is a big help. But Casey Morcell, the ability to get into the paint, get it up to the rim. They've got to finish some of those paint drives.
Yeah, a lot of misses down low. And Armando Bacot, a big reason why. A foul against Dewana, that's number 3.
Last time these two teams met, Carolina had 10 threes at the half. This time only 3, but Armando Bacot and Brady Manek on the inside. So you have to pick your poison against Carolina. You're going to give up 2s or you're going to give up 3s?
Now they only attempted 8.
And that was a good job by State, though. And also Carolina looking to go inside. They made that the emphasis.
Love, hard screen by Bacot, who is open.
See, they're out on the shooters. They're up on the ball.
5 to shoot. Davis launches. Offensive rebound, Bacot. The gift of Puff Johnson. Dewana there.
Big time play by Dewana. He didn't block out Bacot, but he got the block.
He had 6 blocks last time out against BC as Smith, the freshman, draws the foul.
And that's what State needs. More momentum-changing plays, blocks, 3s, forcing turnovers. They need to pick up the pace of this game. It also energizes the fans to get back into the game.
And the guy at the foul line can be your catalyst if you're NC State. Talking to assistant coach James Johnson before the game, he said, watch who the first guy out to shoot pregame. Terquavion Smith.
And Kevin Keats locked him up as a junior.
Yeah.
Then he became a top 100 prospect. One of the best outside shooters among all freshmen in college basketball.
And he brought an energy, just a pregame shoot-around. Bacot, good position, left hand, and if that's on Dewana, that's 4.
You notice what North Carolina does. They throw the ball from the high post into the middle of the paint. There's no way to double when you go high-low. Hubert Davis understands that. They continue to run action to get Bacot in the middle of the paint.
And that's 4 now on Dewana, so we'll see Jalen Gibson, the sophomore, from a Wake Forest commit. He'll come in. This is not a deep team when it comes to bigs. Manny Bates, we talked about. His season ended just a few minutes into NC State's season. Ernest Ross, the freshman, out for the year, fractured ankle. So it's basically Dewana and Gibson.
And I still think you're going to see NC State go 5 small, play the guards, and maybe even play some zone to offset Bacot inside. Now, Kevin Keats doesn't like to play zone, but you may see a few possessions of zone defense by the Wolfpack.
Now, Gibson has had some moments. Had a big game against Syracuse earlier this month, had 11 rebounds against Wake. Helms is 3, rebounded by Puff Johnson.
Caleb Love is just dogging Terquavion Smith. Not even allowing him to catch it off a handoff.
What did Hubert Davis tell us? It starts with defense. Bacot looking for Manek. Out of bounds to the pack.
That time State looked to dig it out. They were packed into the paint. Bacot forced it out. Good help side defense by the Wolfpack.
Darion Sebron has been quiet. 1 of 7 3-points in the first half. He had his worst game of the season against UNC last month. Here's Smith. He just has not had the shot today.
Yeah, but I don't like that shot quality. I know he's got to shoot it.
Manek, no good. Rebound Johnson, out to Love. Bacot, another chance.
Shot clock goes back to 20. Reward Bacot. Get him a touch right now for that rebound. There it
Manek
is.
down low. Bacot too easy and 1.
That is great action by North Carolina. They run Brady Manek off a little zipper cut. You see him to the top. They throw it high. He throws it low. And Bacot was fronted on one side. Instead of following the basketball, he waited for it from Manek on the high-low. Sean May, the assistant coach at North Carolina, who works with the bigs, told us that before the game. The next step for Bacot, the ability to wait for the ball, don't follow the ball.
"16 points for Armando Bacot to lead all scorers. Smith blocked by Bacot. Johnson beats his man, two-handed stuff. Timeout, Kevin Keats.
Tremendous activity by Armando Bacot. The ability to protect the rim as a shot blocker, but also his presence inside. State trying to get to the basket with aggressiveness. Bacot had 6 blocks last time these two teams played.
And he's got 3 today. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball, brought to you by Wendy's new Hot Honey Chicken Sandwich. Also available on a biscuit at breakfast at participating U.S. Wendy's. "16 points, 12 rebounds for Armando Bacot. UNC on top by 18. And we'll get a foul on Bacot, his second. For NC State, they rely so heavily on their big three, Sebron, Smith, and Helms, and those three have not had it from the field today, and if that's the case, boy, that makes it almost impossible to win.
Carolina's done a nice job on the ball screen action. Hard hedging, and that time they trapped Sebron.
Coming right into our kitchen. I think we lost a monitor.
But Carolina retained possession.
The monitor's okay. Update.
State needs to make some consecutive stops. They keep going back to that high-low action. How do you stop it? More pressure on the ball, get around in front, or if you can't handle it, play some zone.
Manek's got 4 assists. 20-point lead for UNC, its largest of the game.
Because Hubert Davis is going to go back to that all game long until it gets stopped. I would.
Sebron missing another layup. Just so uncharacteristic for a guy who's been so good around the rim all season, except for the 2 games against Carolina. Bacot's going to go right at Gibson. The turnaround. Armando Bacot's got it all today. He's got 20.
Well, the game plan by Hubert Davis. Yet Armando Bacot touches and more touches than they have from tip to now. Wasn't the case against Louisville. They went to him in the first half, but the second half the guard started jacking it up. Louisville got back in the game.
Another block by Bacot. That is 4. He's done it on offense. He's done it on defense. Everywhere you look, Armando.
The big fella.
Who's got the best fans?
That's a very good question.
We talked early about UNC needing urgency in this game. We've seen that.
Yeah, Bacot inside, dominating the game in the paint, at the rim, and on the glass. I've been impressed the way he's imposed his will on this game. And the Carolina guards getting him the ball, the patience of finding him inside. It's improved their shot quality, and it's limited their turnovers.
Cam Hayes has a team-high 11 for the pack. UNC came into this game on the bubble, one of Joe Lunardi's last 4 byes, but a loss to an NC State team that's 11-17, 4-13 in conference, 1-9 in league home games. That can drop you to first 4 out. Offensive foul against Bacot. Look at the resume for UNC. Only one quad one win. That was last weekend against Virginia Tech. They get Syracuse Monday in Chapel Hill, and then go to Cameron Indoor next weekend in what is a pretty hot ticket.
And Joe Lenardi told me last night, Carolina has not beaten a team that is in the NCAA tournament yet. And that's a big factor. Last possession by State, they went to zone. They got the turnover. You take away the paint game if you play zone.
3 not there for Helms. Offensive rebound. And Breon passes there.
Little soft pressure by Kevin Keats. 1-2-2. Just to see if they can get a turnover against Carolina or if they take a quick, unexpected shot like that.
Caleb Love from long range. Manek, the stick back. Paul, when you press, and the press has worked a little for Kevin Keats at times today, but boy, when Manny Bates is sitting at the back end of that, it's a game changer.
He's cleaning that up. Manny Bates is going to clean up missed shots as well as anybody in the ACC. Without him in the lineup this year, it's really hurt their defense.
Active hands, Caleb Love knocked that out of bounds. Well, we said next weekend in Durham is a pretty tough ticket. Cheapest ticket for Coach K's final regular season game at Cameron Indoor, almost $2,900. The most expensive, we call these the Biancardi seats. $17,600, my friend.
I need 2. Anybody selling?
Yeah. Well, they're selling. That's according to Vivid Seats. Nice touch by Gibson. Would you shell out $17,600?
Maybe $17.60. Not
This isn't
17K.
1943.
No, I'll watch it at home on ESPN. Now 2 possessions in a row right now. State with the stop. Zone pressure, back to zone. And State trying to fight their way back in. Kevin Keats has tried everything in this game. Man, zone, pressure, 5 guards. Trying to find the catalyst.
You know who is trying to fire the troops up right now? It was number 0, the freshman, Terquavion Smith. Hayes has 3 triples, make it 4. Came in shooting 22% from beyond the arc. Hayes, another block by Bacot. 11 blocks in 2 games against the Pack. The lob at the other end, off target, recovered by Styles.
The last couple of possessions for Carolina, shooting 3s, the zone seduces you into the jump shot. Bacot has not touched the ball in the last few possessions.
Manek was looking for Bacot. Love from the outside, and NC State content to let Carolina take those shots. Styles can't get it. It'll stay with UNC.
And that's the downside to the zone. You got to block out in the zone. And defensively for North Carolina, Armando Bacot blocking everything in sight. That's his 5th.
His page went off in the second half in Raleigh. He only had 4 points at halftime, scored 31 in the second half and overtime. UNC knocking off NC State. TJ Warren, by the way, at 36 in that game for the Wolfpack. That was the year where it seemed Page always had an answer in the second half. Second half Page was the story of the season for North Carolina.
He looked like Steph Curry in the second half of that game. That sophomore performance was one for the ages.
Caleb Love thought he had the block, but they get the foul.
The zone defense by NC State is creating some unexpected shots by Carolina. The key now, you got to block out. You may be playing zone defense, but you have to block out man-to-man style.
In that January meeting, UNC hit 15 threes. It was part of a stretch in which NC State allowed 4 straight opponents to make 10 or more threes. Today, the Heels just 3 of 15 from outside the arc. However, 65% inside the arc. And the folks here in Raleigh will be happy to see Armando Bacot leave. In the 2 games against the Heels, he has given them night terrors. A big missed opportunity there for the Pack, though.
They have missed at least 8 to 10 layups at the rim. Some contested, some uncontested. But
how much of that is...
When you combine Armando Bacot and Brady Manek, they are 13 for 17 from the field, 8 for 9 from the line. It's an easy recipe for Hubert Davis. The guards have to buy in.
Manek almost stepped out. Bacot in the high post. And he gets the friendly roll. Why not? 22 and 16 for Bacot. One of the front runners for ACC Player of the Year.
I would say him and Paolo Banchero.
Throw Alondas Williams in that mix?
Alondas Williams, for sure. You know who's had a great season, but he won't win the award? Dane Goodwin for Notre Dame.
Absolutely. Offensive foul. 3 on Helms.
Carolina has struggled with turnovers all season long. In this game right now, they have 11. Not bad.
Puff Johnson from the outside. The 3 is good. That's how you bust a zone.
That's why they recruited Puff Johnson. The ability to catch and shoot. He loves the corners. He's got great size at 6'8". Davis knocks it down at 40. Love knocks it down at 40. And Manek as well. They just have to create good looks against the zone, North Carolina.
A career-high 9 for Johnson. Hayes, the lob for Gibson, who's given State some decent minutes, coming in for Dewana, who's got 4 fouls.
Cam Hayes has played so well in this game, shooting from the outside, handling the ball.
When we saw Hayes at times last year, it looked like you were watching a future star in this league, and then for whatever reason, in ACC play, he's struggled mightily this year as Johnson hits another 3.
Puff Johnson loves the left side of the floor, but you're right about Cam Hayes. He showed flashes last year, the ability to handle, plays so well in pick and roll. He's a scoring guard by nature. He has a bright future here at NC State.
Johnson with the pick.
Some guys just get into a rut. They lose their confidence, and it's hard to get your confidence back when you're not playing. It's hard for coaches to play you when you don't have any confidence.
Yeah.
So it's a two-way street, and you get your confidence back in practice.
Armando Bacot, 24 now to lead all scorers.
Well, that play is going to be well scouted in the future. They've only run it about a dozen times this afternoon. And as soon as NC State went back to the man, Carolina went back to the high-low.
Reuse your best stuff, right?
Repeat your best stuff. You should try it sometime.
Would need material to begin with. Here's Hayes. Bacot bothered that one, might have gotten a piece.
Brady Manek, just like Superman for North Carolina.
Here we go again! Armando Bacot will be showing up in Wolfpack nightmares. 26 points, 16 rebounds. If you're wondering, has he missed? Only once, 10 of 11 from the field.
There are all kinds of products in this world.
22 and 14 carrying this team right now.
Kennedy Chandler has come on for Tennessee.
He's been great, young freshman along with Zakai Ziegler, the other guards in this team have really made this a dynamic.
Have 5 AP top 5 wins.
And Auburn's lost at Florida and at Arkansas.
Smith grazes the rim, and You know who's been a big addition for Auburn? The North Carolina transfer, Walker Kessler. That is as imposing a front line as there is in college basketball. As Puff Johnson continues his career day, he now has 14 to match his jersey.
Well, the sensational freshman Jabari Smith and Walker Kessler. Skill, shot blocking ability, and just two mobile bigs who can score the ball. For Tennessee, they have a freshman, Kennedy Chandler.
Yeah.
Outstanding in the open floor, good on-ball defender. Tennessee leads the SEC in assists, so they're scoring the ball better, and they can defend.
Helms hits the three. Yeah, the challenge for anybody playing Auburn, though, combating that front line. And the Vols have been so good at home. They have not lost at home in years. Love, and got away from Bacot. Here's Helms. Smith. Green lights it and hits. Just his second three of the game. He leads the ACC in three-pointers made. You know who the last freshman to lead the ACC in made threes was?
J.J. Redick.
Yeah, look at you. You did your homework.
Glad I'm doing my homework now because I didn't do it in the 80s.
Well, that's why you took all the classes pass-fail.
For Terquavion Smith, that three-point shot was smooth in transition. When he plays loose and free, he's a deadly shooter because you don't know when he's going to pull the trigger, and he has a quick trigger. 0 in the white. Outstanding
Armando
freshman.
Bacot just picked up his fourth foul. NBA Saturday primetime. Nets GM Sean Marks left the door open earlier this week for KD and Ben Simmons possibly playing in this one against Giannis and the defending champion Bucks. Coverage begins with NBA Countdown at 8 Eastern on ABC and the ESPN app. Nets got to get it together quickly with the playoffs approaching.
Leaky Black has not come into this game, nor has he needed to.
And if he missed the injury early, went down with 4:31 to go in the first half. Steve Kirshner, North Carolina sports information director, told us it was a hyperextended knee. He went through warm-ups before the start of the second half. They told us he would see if he could give it a go. This looks to be more precautionary, keeping him on the bench.
No question about it. They have another game on Monday against Syracuse. But Leaky Black is their best perimeter defender, and he is a good post defender. 6'7", he's a playmaker, has the most versatility on this team. I know Brady Manek has a lot of versatility. Leaky Black does as well.
Hayes has been the best offensive threat for the Wolfpack. And a big rebound by Dontrez Styles, another top 100 freshman. You scouted him in high school. Tell us about Dontrez Styles.
Great athleticism, mid-range game, puts it on the deck inside the arc. He does everything well inside the three-point line. The next step for Styles is to expand to the three-point shot. But when you look at North Carolina's team, there's a lot of top 100 talent on this team.
They signed two of the top 3 players out of North Carolina, Styles and DeMarco Dunn. And slipping through is Caleb Love, who's got 11.
North Carolina has a top 10 class coming in next year. They have a point guard I'm really excited about by the name of Seth Trimble out of Wisconsin. Fast, strong, and can score.
And if you're NC State, yes, this has been a lost season. The Manny Bates injury might have hurt NC State more than any other injury hurt any other team. But you start looking ahead. Terquavion Smith expected back. He might be your ACC preseason player of the year next year. Darion Seabrook, he's going to go to work in the offseason, try to get more consistent with an outside shot or a mid-range shot. There's a possibility Manny Bates could come back, and they may also get a big-time recruit to enroll early.
Yeah, Robert Dillingham, class of 2023. He's a top 5 recruit in the junior class. He would have to reclassify, get to NC State next year. If he does that, this program changes 360. They also have 2 4-star players coming in these. Sean Phillips and L.J. Thomas. You take the freshmen with the returners and get someone in the portal, this program goes right back up.
You were telling me before the game, if you put Dillingham on the floor right now, he's good for what?
He's good for 15. I told you 10 before the game, but the more I'm watching these two teams play and thinking about Robert Dillingham, he is the real deal, folks.
Okay. Paul Biancardi, he's our national...
Nobody gets a bucket easier than Robert.
Recruiting director.
Yes, I am.
I trust you on this more than I trust anybody else.
More than Tom Luganville?
That's a tie.
Now, I'm telling you, Dillingham is a walking bucket, and he does it with great instinct.
A chance for a three-point play here for NC State. We remind you, full day of college hoops on ESPN. Got a few big matchups following ours. Auburn and Tennessee. Again, the Vols undefeated at home this year. Can they knock off the #3 team in the country? We get to watch probably one of the top 2 picks in the upcoming NBA draft. That's Jabari Smith. Then it could be the final time Mike Krzyzewski and Jim Boeheim lock horns. Duke at the Carrier Dome. They're expecting a crowd of 30,000 plus. Students were camped out to get their tickets. And how about the 8 o'clock game? Kansas and Baylor. Boy, Baylor's had to deal with a lot of injuries. They're still the defending champs, however.
But will it be the last time that Coach K calls into Jim Boeheim's radio show?
Darion Sebron said, forget the layups at the rim. He went up strong with 2 hands. Just 5 points for the Pac's leading scorer. He has struggled in both games against UNC this year.
He struggled with his layups. That time he took it strong and went to dunk it, and he flushed it. The aggressiveness by Darion Sebron, that's what's been lacking in this game once he gets into the paint and up at the rim.
The challenge all year for NC State has been defense. They rank last in the ACC in defensive efficiency as Johnson beats the shot clock.
But they have great fight.
Well, the point, Paul, I was going to make, they need to score to win. And they've been a solid offensive team for a chunk of the year. But when Sebron and Terquavion Smith and Helms all struggle from the field against a team like North Carolina, you don't have a chance. (77-63) UNC. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5 Hour Energy. It's the one when you gotta get stuff done.
Five-Hour Energy, because it's time to hit the gym and work up a sweat.
Stanley Amude Dallin to give the Hogs the lead.
Transfer from South Dakota, capitalizing on an error right there. Keon Brooks got to chin that thing, be strong. Amude just hit that 3. He just hit another 3 to give them a 2-point lead. This is a back and forth entertaining game.
Kanish.
All right, thank you, Kevin. It is 78-63 North Carolina. The Tar Heels have been in control really from the get-go. They had a 19-point lead in the first half. They've led by as many as 25. It's a UNC team on the bubble. This was a game they had to have. A loss could knock you on the wrong side of the bubble. Armando Bacot, who's got 4 fouls, lets Darion Sebron pass. Steve Kirshner, North Carolina's outstanding sports information director, told us in the last break, Bacot today, as he's able to add 2 more, has authored the first 20-point, 15-rebound, 5-block game in school history. Now, they started keeping blocks as a stat beginning the 1975-76 season. 28, 16, and 5. Again, he's put up ACC Player of the Year numbers all season.
And when you think about all the great players in the history of North Carolina, to hear he's the first, it just makes you think about his greatness right now.
And his growth, Paul, you saw him as a high schooler. It was a different player. It was a different body type, as you told me.
It was the same player with a different body. He went to IMG Academy at 6'9", and quite frankly, a little fleshy. Out of shape, but he had the hands, the footwork, the skill, and he always dominated the glass. Got committed to his body at IMG, and they won a Geico championship, and his career has taken off at Chapel Hill.
One of the things, we haven't seen it a ton this year. He's only attempted 7 threes, but in the offseason, he attempted 1,000 three-pointers a week. Hit one against BC, and The next day at practice, his teammates were calling him Three-Cot.
But I love that. You mentioned he's only taken 8 threes over his career. He knows who he is. He knows where he's best. He plays the game to his strength. Nice finish by Sebron, coming alive in the last 4 or 5 minutes. And everything you do on the sideline right now for Kevin Keatts State, you're doing it for the future.
And you are bullish on Kevin Keatts and the future of NC State basketball.
Well, there's no question about it. Look at the job that he did at Wilmington. Getting to the NCAA tournament. Look, it's a down year. Every coach has a down year somewhere along the line. But Kevin Keatts is the right guy for NC State. They've never had a losing season in conference. They've had injuries. They've had guys, except for this year, of course. Prior to this year, I meant. So he's got a young group. He's got no center. And his point guard is still working through a situation. Recruiting, transfers, his program will bounce right back up. But I'm sold on Kevin as a person and as a coach and a leader for this team.
When you go through a season like this, you have to deal with the noise that comes with it. But make no mistake, Kevin Keatts isn't going anywhere. There's Sebron again. He's got 11, doing most of his work with the game out of hand.
And just to follow up on that point, this fan base is tremendous, but sometimes they get a little out of control. They think things are supposed to happen quickly. Sometimes it takes 6, 7, or 8 years to get to where you want to be. And if you have the right guy on the sideline, you have patience, and Kevin Keatts is the right guy.
Love a little show and tell.
You talk about the voices. Hubert Davis, first-year head coach. He's hearing the voices. Every coach in the ACC, Mike Bray, was hearing the voices up until this year. It's going to happen in every fan base.
Notre Dame had missed the tournament 4 years in a row, and that was with that ballyhooed recruiting class with Dane Goodwin and Leschewski.
And it's coming to fruition this year. Yep. They're right on the heels of Duke. I think they're a Sweet 16 team this year. I really do. I think they can win 2 games because of their experience and because of their offensive ability.
North Carolina looking to put the ribbon and wrapping paper on this one. They get Syracuse Monday.
Bacot wants more. He wants more.
He wanted 30. That would have been a career high. Hayes to the 10. And the margin is 10, which really doesn't reflect how competitive or non-competitive this game was. And Love will dribble out the clock. North Carolina, 52% from the field. The Bigs dominated. Bacot, 28 points, 18 rebounds, 5 block shots. Manek chipped in with 16. A career-high 16 for Puff Johnson, who stepped in when Leaky Black went down. Carolina wins. They get Syracuse at home on Monday before a trip to Cameron Indoor next weekend. Kevin.
East North Carolina needed it. They get